Hey everyone, TimaeuSS. Welcome to another NIKKE video. Oh boy, it is now the beginning of December and we have some big news being dropped. First, let's take a look at the revenue of NIKKE in its launch month. So Sensor Tower has finally posted the NIKKE revenue, and I think it should be accurate as of today, but usually I know in the next few days they sometimes change their numbers, but the raw estimate, okay, for NIKKE for the launch month of November is 39 million for Android and 29 million for Apple. So that adds up to 68. But for the sake of the game, let's say, it's 39.5 and 29.5 and they'll add up to 69. All right. So my thoughts on this, all right? And I'll talk about the pros and cons of the game and some of the other things that are going on with people that are not satisfied with the game. The pros are, obviously, the game is doing really, really well, okay? They love it in Japan over there. If you look at the stats for the revenue for NIKKE, half of the revenue is coming from Japan. Even though Japan is only 20% of the download, right? Half of it is coming from Japan. And it does show because you can see it's number one for the top grossing chart for games and role-playing. And it's steadily maintaining that number one, number two spot, which is insane for a new IP game, all right? 69 million is nothing to scoff at, especially the other game Level Infinite has published last month, which was Tower of Fantasy. Didn't even make that much, right? 6 million. Well, this was not launch week, but launch week Tower of Fantasy, I think, was not 70 million together. So the good news is obviously the game has made a ton of money with its aggressive monetization and advertisement, and with numbers like these, the game is here to stay. So for those of you looking forward to play the game long term, the game is here to stay and it's going to have a ton of content coming out for you guys. All right, so that is the good side of things. Again, congrats on the huge earnings report. On the bad side of things, we know the game is riddled with bugs. There were concerns about the polls, the rates, as well as the recent debacle about the paid banner, which has been addressed in a recent statement from the developers, and they're going to give compensation. However, people, especially in Korea, are not happy. All right, and this is a recent post shared with me that people are actually going ahead with a group lawsuit. Of course, take everything with a grain of salt. This is posted on their equivalent of like Reddit, right? It's Naver. So there's nothing concrete about what's going to happen. But if you didn't know, previously in Destiny Child, another game by Shift Up, a group of Korean consumers actually did sue the game, all right? And they were found to have manipulated the rates of the game, and they refunded every single gem currency that were given to the players from the beginning until that point. And then they have thus fixed the rates. So I don't think the game or Shift Up is stupid enough to try this again. All right, especially they know our Korean bros are not shy to take you to court. However, this person, I think they were not happy, okay, with the, again, potential chances for the probability manipulation, and also just with the amount of bugs and the bans that are happening to people that may or may not deserve the ban, right? So it's quite crazy right now, all right? On the Korean forums, you can see a lot of the posts are negative in the sense that there's a bug, I've got banned, how can I refund, let's go to court, and stuff like that, all right? Whereas the sentiment in, I think, other communities, Japanese Twitter is always very happy to praise the developers under the comments. There were, a bit of anger when they couldn't log in, but overall it's all right. The CM community on NGA, they're not happy. All right, they're not happy. The global community on Reddit, for the subreddit, it's usually just posting not safe for work posts. So I can't. I'm not sure if people are happy or not. You can let me know down in the comments how you feel. But in terms of, again, the success of the game from the revenue point of view, there's no denying that it has been extremely successful. But personally, okay, as a content creator for the game, and as someone who loves the game very much, I do hope we can see some positive changes coming out. All right, and I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant. So what I'll do is have this in the background. All right, this is for my last night's stream, if you guys didn't catch it, and I did 70 pulls, no, 1 SSR. Okay, so you guys, for those of you that are complaining about my luck in my previous banners, you can watch this, make yourself feel a bit better while listening to my rant. 70 pulls, 1 SSR. Okay, it was bad, but yeah. So my honest opinion about the game is I love the game very much. Okay, sure, you can call me a show or whatnot. I don't care. I love the game because I think, for me, my time right now moving forward is very restricted, right? I've got a job, got kids. So the idle aspect of the game is great for me, okay? And I've played so many gacha games that my tolerance, again, for a lot of the BS that comes through is much, much higher, all right? I've gone through games like, Artery Gear, other games, super buggy. If you found my channel 5 years ago, I played Knights Chronicle, all right? And that was the game with the original costume gate. So I have a lot of tolerance for these kind of stuff. However, I think NIKKE is a game that can really, really, really do well in the long term, right? It's got a loyal fan base in the sense that, people love assets. Okay, people love assets, beautiful assets. So you've got a lot of players that love your story, love the art. So it's very easy, I think, to make a successful game out of that if you are willing to communicate with the players and give them goodies, right? Just show that you're listening, show that you're doing the right things. You should be fixing bugs. We've gone through 2 CBTs. You should have fixed most of your bugs, but it's fine. You found a lot more, and you're on your way to fix them. You've talked about it in developers notes, and in the December patches, things will be fixed. Okay. Bugs aside, the issues with optimization, the issues with, hackers and cheaters, I really, really hope that, developers would come and give us updates a bit more frequently. Because, of course, we knew the JP and the Korean side, they both had their streams. But globals, we haven't really had any streams, all right? And in terms of how active the community is, the main Discord is extremely busy because it's got almost 150,000 people, right? However, there's only a handful of mods working, and it's difficult to obviously get in contact with the developers. So I feel like a bit more communication and direction with how the game is going would be very, very helpful to the game overall. And even just looking through some of the comments and some of the players that I've talked to, a lot of the casual players, they don't even mind the bugs that much, all right? They just want to play with their favorite waifus. They just want to play their game casually. But if you get banned, and for those that didn't cheat or didn't abuse any mechanics and they got banned and spent money, it's going to be like a gut punch, all right? It's going to be like a gut punch. There's no denying. And of course, here on screen, you can see I pulled my Rapunzel dupe. But that was the only SSR I pulled out of 70 pulls. But yeah, for a lot of the players, I think the majority of the players are a bit more casual. Of course, those of you that are watching my stream, watching my videos, you're probably more on the less casual side because, you're willing to spend the time to look at guides, to look at content. So maybe potentially a bit different from, the general average, right? But I don't know, for you guys, you care, and that's why you want your voices to be heard. Same with the whales in my guild, because my guild right now is obviously, I would say, currently the biggest whale guild on NA, right? They care as well. And I think in terms of the whale retention is one of the highest I've seen across all the gachas my guild has played across, right? So many whales are still sticking with the game, and it's true because the idle aspect is really, really good for people that are busy. So Shift Up, you have a fantastic game. I hope you can do it justice by, fixing your bugs, communicating a bit more with the players, and give a bit more in terms of resources, right? I've fed this back. Make your SSR modes 100%. Make the towers reset monthly, okay, and start from that. I think players will be very, very happy if you make any positive changes, and they'll stick with you for a long, long time. All right. Anyhow, that's my rant, and this is my last temple on the stream. And of course, I got nothing. So 70 pulls, 1 SSRs. This is what my luck looks like when I'm not streaming the radar banners. But yeah, anyhow, it's TimaeuSS here. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye now.